and like they had like the ability to pull in your claws.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Instead
would
of
you
just like always having them out?
Yeah. Why would you do that? I don't know. I mean, they kind of gave you a reason because like you would heal with your claws inside.
Because you didn't have these metal things sticking out of you, taking up your healing. So I guess that made sense. But.
Yeah, it does make sense. But like, it was just kind of a nice touch to have in there, and I feel like just nice touches are kind of absent in games anymore.
Yeah, which kind of makes me sad.
Like the only time you're gonna get a pointless detail is like in a Kojima game.
Kojima games, Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Like open world games, basically, to where
it happened in the old Metal Gear Solid games too.
Well, yeah, I mean
Like,
those levels were pretty extensive. That they were basically open, and you were just like put in a different place.
Yeah, I guess.
I
guess you're right, Drew.
I haven't played them. So, and then like Jedi Outcast happens, and it just changed how everything worked because. In Obi-Wan, you use the right stick and you flip that thing around, so you'd sit there and flail around.
Which
with
a lot of people have tried to do, and it just never works out.
The stick doesn't always really work out.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked with Obi-Wan because it was the first of its kind, really.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, look what you can do.
Everybody's like, hey, this is cool.
Yeah,
and then they realized, hey, this is fiddly.
Yeah, and the block was back on the right stick. So, like, you could parry it and then do damage and then get one-shotted by Darth Maul.
Yeah.
But Outcast happened, and it changed it all because, like, you had your, like, basic strike that you could sit there and just stand there and do.
Yeah.
Or you could start moving around, and based on how you were moving, it was a different strike.
Yeah.
And, like, if you moved forward and attacked, you would do like a special animation, or sideways, or back, or jumping and doing it. It made it to where it felt like you could do the ridiculous moves of the prequel lightsaber duels, with it not being like a quick time event or like a scripted event. Like it was just always.
Yeah. Which is one of the things that was really cool about the Arkham games. Like those like contextual attacks that were just like he would do what he did based on how you were moving the stick, and like it was just so intuitive. And I feel like that lightsaber combat kind of started that in a way.
Yeah, with Outcast and like the multiplayer, like. Honestly, I feel like the shooting aspect of this game got completely blown out of the water because you had the lightsaber parts.
Well, if you have solid lightsaber combat and that is the meat of your game, I mean, it's the opposite of what happened with
Battlefront.
Like the shooting is the meat of that game. So lightsaber combat kind of took a back seat, which is not cool.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's understandable.
Yeah.
Because, like...
A lot of things took a backseat in that game.
Yeah, but, like, they focused on making a solid multiplayer shooter. And which, there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think it should cost $60.
It shouldn't cost $120.
Well, if you're getting
the
all,
season pass.
For all the season pass nonsense, yeah.
So you can get 2 more maps.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a different video. But
yeah, but like with Outcast, because like in the story mode, you start off with the shooting. The shooting's good, and then like you do the trial, like the Jedi Trials mission on Yavin.
Yeah, and
so like you don't have any weapons, but it teaches you how to use the Force powers, not through a tutorial. But from like Luke Skywalker telling you, how the Force works and how it works in the universe, so it didn't baby you in how Force powers worked. It was like, this is how the Force works, and we're going to teach it to you now. And so, like you'd learn it, and at the end of the level, you got your lightsaber, and your first level with it But the first scene is you're in a bar, and everybody sees that you've got a lightsaber, so you've got you like immediately are worth something to everybody. So like the barroom brawl begins, and you go ham with it, and then you get outside because it's Nar Shaddaa, so it's kind of like a big
Nar Shaddaa.
It's like a big sort of Coruscant place to where there's no floor. Like the buildings just keep going up, and
Coruscant,
so like,
Cloud City,
yeah. And so like there's all these snipers, so it's like I can't have my lightsaber right now. I'm not good enough with this yet. So there would be parts to where you had to switch between them. And like, so you weren't the best with lightsabers yet, but you could figure out how to do it eventually.
Which is a cool thing in a video game, because like you always get these video games now
that have like the difficulty spikes because they're like, here's this new upgrade, and now we've balanced the game to your new upgrade you don't know how to use yet.
Yeah, but like we also have video games where like it's like you are the best at everything.
Mm-hmm.
So go have fun. But like that's kind of an example of a game where like your guy is like still getting in the swing of his new special powers. It's like here's your force powers, go have fun. You might still want to use your gun because you haven't really learned anything yet.
Yeah, because like, and you don't have that many force powers, because like through every level you would get a new force power because like you've gained experience.
Yeah.
And it would occasionally help you with a certain mechanic in the level. Because it's the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, it's the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. So it really changed it up. Jedi Academy kind of threw that wrench in the gears, kind of.
Yeah.
Because you started off with the lightsaber, so it's like you're damn good already. Like you have the option of guns, but you don't need it. You don't need them. But it was also more of like an expansion than it was a game itself, which I like, but I also kind of dislike, because the Jedi Academy stuff is actually still living today. Because like I downloaded the mod the other night to let me play the multiplayer in Jedi Academy, and I forgot how fun the lightsaber combat is in Jedi Academy.
Yeah. And
like I played that instead of helping these guys with their Star Wars characters, because I was having too much fun with that in Battlefront too. But
had to yell at him to figure out how to make a Star Wars character, and then I had to makeshift teach somebody how to make a Star Wars character without actually knowing anything. Although it's easier than a D&D character.
That is true.
I have trouble with a D&D character.
And so like it is still a living, breathing thing, and I think that is in itself incredible, because that was 2004. There are not too many games from 2004 that are still working.
No, not at all.
And like it's really surprising.
Yeah.
And then we get to the Revenge of the Sith, which I'm gonna be honest, I loved the story in that and how the battles played out, because some of the lightsaber battles in Revenge of the Sith were very short.
Yeah, but this is like, what if we gave you a hard, like kind of Ninja Gaiden style boss battle here, and it was good. Like it wasn't as hard as Ninja Gaiden, obviously, but like, because I beat it, but it was crazy. Like it was the first game that I ever played that really kind of felt like playing the movie. And I would like have entire game sessions where I would just like play against AI on that 2-player mode, because it's just so fun. Because you not only could you just have fun doing the fighting game stuff, but you could also like have your dream fights. Like you could have,
because they gave you a lot of characters in that game,
and they give you skins too. Like there was evil Anakin with a red lightsaber. It was Master Obi-Wan with a green lightsaber.
Which was weird.
Yeah, that was very weird, but it was there.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
They gave you Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Who was very slow. And Darth Vader. He was also slow, but hit like a truck.
Yeah.
You had Yoda, I believe. You had Mace Windu. You had General Grievous, who was really weird, but also like because he didn't have the Force, he had the blaster, which was really cool.
Yeah.
The charge, and like his grapples, because like there's a grapple thing in there.
Yeah.
His were terrifying because you could like double grapple with him.
Yeah.
To where, like initially, you would just like flip them up on your back and like pop their back.
You would bane them.
Yeah, like no, you just like
bane them on your neck.
Scrunch them on your neck and then just like throw them. Yeah. But you could double grapple with them to where you do that, and then you'd throw them. You would like double grapple them to where you would like lock their head, pull up on their neck, pull them up on top, crack their back, and then throw them down and then step on them with your claws and then like shake them off like they're stuck to your boot.
Yeah.
And like as a small child, I'm like, oh god!
Like Dennis from the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah. Bigger boot. And like he was always really cool and a really annoying boss fight because you could sit there and he had a spammable attack that you'd win and was hard to beat.
Yeah.
But and then you also had like the extra missions in there that you didn't see like at all in the movies, like you going around while the ship is falling apart before you go and fight Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Because like you get some parts in there. And there was like the whole Jedi Temple missions that weren't hardly in the movie.
Yeah.
Like at all. We saw Anakin going up to it, and then like we saw a hollow of him just slaughtering people,
eviscerating people.
And like they made a double boss fight.
Yeah.
To where it was really cool because you had this one really fast chick who had 2 lightsabers and she was really cool and interesting. You slaughtered her. Then you fought her master, who was like this really cool, appeared to be ridiculously fast because there was like he had like after images around him.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh god, he's really cool. He's gonna be a pain in the ass, but he was really just like slightly faster than she was.
Yeah.
But it felt really cool for those fights.
Because like I think it's kind of something that movie games should do, which is like expand what is there instead of creating stuff that's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the X-Men Origins Wolverine game.
Mm-hmm.
Like which kind of has a little bit of an excuse because like it was in development before the movie. So the
Revenge of the Sith, that movie released a week before the movie did.
The
game released a week before the movie did, but it included it was the whole story of the movie plus more, and it had like a lot of the cinematics that they could use were from the movies, and then it would transition into the video game, sort of like how Lord of the Rings, Return of the King game did, where it used the cinematics from the movies. So, and then I think from there, we should talk about something that has kind of been there this whole time, but we haven't really talked about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about The Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Because, like, after Revenge of the Sith, we didn't really have hardly any Star Wars video games at all.
Not really.
And like,
not with.
It felt like a long time because it was like
not with lightsaber combat. No.
2007. I don't know if there were any.
I feel like there were.
Battlefront 2 was. Battlefront 2 came out after Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Not too long after though.
Yeah.
And then there was this dry spell